Tobin and Leroy here with you on 104.3 FM, WQAM. Hey, our guy, Uly The Monster Diaz, is going to stop by later this hour, Leroy.
All right.
He's going to be fighting on Dirty Boxing 3, which is coming up on August 29th at the Hangar in Miami. This card is loaded, dude. This is probably the best card they put together. He is on the main card. They got Hector Lombard, former UFC fighter, former Bellator champion, one of the most vicious knockout artists of all time. Jairzinho Rosenstrike is fighting this crazy guy, the Wolf, who's not, been killing it. He's fought on every Dirty Boxing card, and he really likes beating former UFC guys, and he's had a lot of success with it. Now he's stepping up big time for the first title fight that they've had in Dirty Boxing. So we'll talk to Uly, see what he's got going on, what he's cooking up. This man is he doesn't seem to ever want to stop fighting. I feel like I thought like we talked to him fights back. I was like, weren't you done? This guy never gets he's never done. He always feels like he's like, oh, there's a new sport, and then he's got to go try that out. This guy's literally
there's certain guys who are lifelong professional fighters, and it becomes I just like the action.
Yep.
Right. Like you'll see some guys who have fought in the highest divisions in number of sports, and they go, you know what? I got the itch. What's going on?
And he's taking on Phil Hawes, who is a longtime UFC veteran, who he got, I believe, disqualified in his last Dirty Boxing fight for eye pokes. Though some people were debating, did he really eye poke? Did the guy want out? Then the guy had a big freak out on the mic that he beat. So we'll talk to Uly about that coming on up and see what he's got to say about that. Meanwhile, the Miami Dolphins, they could use a little Uly Diaz in them, a little street fight in them as they're getting ready for the Detroit Lions joint practice today. And this was from Detroit Sports Pod. They spoke to linebacker Grant Stewart, who is listed as a backup linebacker on their depth chart. But he
special teams guy.
Intangibles.
I told you about the special teams guys.
He is out here and he is saying that that the Dolphins, they ain't ready. This was what he had to say.
Yeah, for sure. Man, I don't know if they ready, man. I'm gonna keep it a stack. Okay. Just because I've played at other places and played against that team last year, and I've joined practice against that team twice when I was in Tampa. And I don't know if they practice how we practice. So I'm excited to see our guys for sure, and I'm excited to get out there, do something against somebody else where they don't know every in and out of what we're doing and stuff. Exactly. So that'll be cool, man. It'll be dope.
First of all, those comments would have literally been made about any team.
Any team coming into Detroit,
correct.
You think?
Correct.
But
because he kind of well, and hold on, before you get all, let me finish. But when you have been known as not being a very physical team,
yep,
those comments hit differently.
More sensitive about it.
Right. If they had been practicing against Philly and they go, I don't know if Philly practices like we do. Right. So it'll be interesting to see if, it just has a different feel or a different meaning when your team has had the definition of soft follow them for the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's just interesting. Like it's I almost find this a little exhausting for the Dolphins because while I agree that it's definitely been an issue, I am of the opinion that I don't think any of this practice stuff is going to really matter in the scheme of things because I do feel like it's ultimately going to be proven in the regular season. We're never going to remember back to what was done against Detroit.
We're not, but they are. We're not, but what the coaches see is going to determine how they approach this in the future and later on in the season. You see what I mean? If they go against Detroit and get pushed around, then these coaches are going to go in the office and say, what are we going to do? because we put them in a bunch of situations to be tougher and they haven't responded. Talk about short yardage, goal line, practicing against physical teams, doing physical drills, and they just not that. So I don't know how it's going to play out. You need to have a couple of dogs in your locker room in any sport. Everybody knows that when you have those couple of guys on the team that are just a little bit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? That those guys can take the stand that needs to be taken and people to stop talking like this. However, in fairness to whoever the hell this backup linebacker is,
Grant Stewart,
I do believe
who was Mr. Irrelevant, by the way.
I do believe it has the feeling of whoever was coming in would have gotten the same comments. So I'm not going to but it does carry some weight when you've been, following this team for the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's an
He
interesting thing.
He might have accidentally hit a nerve. That's all I'm saying.
We should have an expert on about having that dog in you, and I think that this man right here could teach us a thing or two about that because he's the monster. So let's go out to the Toyota of Hollywood guest line. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. ToyotaofHollywood.com. Uly the Monster Diaz is going to be fighting Dirty Boxing Championship, Dirty Boxing 3. What's going on, Uly? How are you?
Brandon, Leroy, how you guys doing, man? Thank you again for the opportunity.
Good. So can I ask you this real quick? Because we talking about guys being tough and guys being physical. In your sport, we assume that everybody is tough, but sometimes their fighting style would not indicate they really want to mix it up. When you go into fights like that, if you were to say to somebody, like, he doesn't fight a real aggressive style, would he take that as being he's soft or not tough, or just his style doesn't promote that?
No, I just think maybe his style doesn't promote that. Not everybody has that aggressive style of fighting. That is my style. My style is very aggressive. I'm in your face. I call it Mexican style because it's toe to toe. I try to close the distance as much as possible. But a lot of people have different fight styles, so some people's styles might come off as not aggressive, and you know. And like I would say, like Gervonta, he's a great boxer, but he stays on his toes. He's kind of what they call on his bicycle, kind of staying away, looking like he don't want to fight until it's time to.
Right.
Would you ever remember a situation of like being in the gym and like you're taking on a guy who's like all that, style, and he's got a big reputation, but like they want, somebody like you who obviously you've literally been in every combat sport there is and you're cut from a different cloth. Like, can you tell early on in a training session, like, oh, I know how I can push this person around mentally?
Well, yeah. So with my style, I've noticed I've noticed throughout the years when I keep this pressure up, when you start getting to the second, third, fourth, fifth round, you start kind of wearing people down, and you see, a lot of times you can see the nerves or the worry coming into people's faces because you're constant. I call it zombie mode too. You're a zombie. You're getting hit. You might be getting hit, but it gets to the point where they can't throw as many punches anymore. They're seeing that their punches ain't really affecting you like they thought they would, and you're still coming after them and still coming after them and still, still throwing punches at them.
So you're gonna be fighting coming up August 29th, Dirty Boxing again. The last time you did, somebody tried to cheat and you had to deal with that. Like, what was that experience like? Because you've done every combat sports there is, and now you go into this new sport, and like you feel like the only thing is, all right, there's no takedowns, and like boom, immediately this guy tries to take you down, and you have to get right up and knock his ass out. What was that whole experience like of your first time in Dirty Boxing, and then how excited are you for this next one?
Man, Dirty Boxing is amazing. You guys, I see you there every time. You're commentating. The venue's amazing. The people that have come to the show is amazing. It's a star-studded show. It's a great show. I love the rule set. It's a little dirtier, no pun intended, than regular boxing where you can throw the elbows, you can ground and pound as people are standing up. But yeah, my last opponent, he actually said in the walkout, I guess they have like a video, and they had told me that he said, "Oh, I have a surprise for everybody." I guess that was the surprise, was to take me down immediately. But I got up, I handled business, and I punished them.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, because we were literally talking about it, even with the refs that first day, Uly, of like, hey, what are the, like, we're trying to go over the rules and, what are they going to call and what are they not going to call? And I remember just thinking to myself, you could do a lot. You can't do that. And
Right.
so I imagine that has to like take you immediately. Like, do you remember what went through your mind immediately, like as that was all going down?
Well, the first thing that went through my mind was, this is a good takedown, because I was in the air. I was like, oh, man, this is a good takedown. It was a weird moment because we kind of like, so we kind of like squared up to like box, and he kind of like just rushed for my legs. And when we fell, and I scrambled up to try to start, because I thought it was like time to ground and pound. So again, it was my first fight. It was his as well. I knew that was a little too far off the rules, but I wasn't sure. So once I hit the ground, I popped up, and I was just ready to attack again. But yeah, it was a great takedown.
That's
I look at the video, I see myself in the sky. I'm like, damn, this guy swept me off my feet.
It was wild. Well, how much do you have to remind yourself?
I
Because
can't hear you guys.
Oh, we lost. Oh, did we hear?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
We can hear you.
Yeah, you sound good.
I can't hear you.
Oh man, can we? Maybe we'll get Uly to come back in. I don't know what happened there. That's a wild thing. It seemed like we were rolling along there, baby.
Yep.
We'll see if we can. If he can give us. You got us now.
Hello.
No? Let's see if we can get. I'll text him. I'll say if we can get him to go in and go out and reconnect on that, because that's a little weird.
Yeah.
It was flowing away. It was flowing pretty good. Now you can hear us, Uly? Everything good? All right, he's giving us the thumbs up. What's up, man? I'm saying, like, you've fought in so many different, like, MMA, bare knuckle, jiu-jitsu, all of it. Do you ever have to like remind yourself, like, going into those things, or you of what you're actually doing because of how many different things you've been a part of?
And no, you know what? I've never had a problem with that, just because whenever I have whatever combat sport fight coming up, I train just for that, and I'm so in that mode that I know what I have to do. I never, I would never tackle somebody in a boxing match.
Right.
But yeah, no, I just I train for what I'm fighting for, and it's when it comes up to fight day, I'm very focused.
So you're on a card. You're taking on Phil Hawes, which that's a hell of a matchup between you guys. We talk about guys with a ton of UFC experience. What do you what do you do as far as prepping for him?
I don't do anything different when I prep for anybody. I just train my ass off and get my cardio up. And shout out to Phil, man. He's a UFC vet. He's got a ton of experience with a lot of good people. And I'm coming to show what I got that night. I think it's a great opportunity for me, and I know I'm going to come out with my hand raised. I think when it comes to the boxing in the hands, I think I got a better skill set than he does.
Do you like opportunities like this? Because it's a little bit of like what's going on in the main event with the Wolf. Like, that's kind of been his thing. He loves taking on the former UFC guys. You've taken on Thiago Alves before. Like, you've been in experiences like this, but does it feel like a cool opportunity to take on somebody who's been on a stage like that before?
Absolutely. It definitely feels like a great opportunity. It's something great to add to the resume. And again, once the career's over and you look back, you fought some big names. You took the good fights.
Did you, like, we talked to you, I feel like I don't know, it was a couple months ago. It was probably like about a year ago, and you were thinking about being done. Like, it was your final fight. Why are you still doing it, man? Like, I mean, what keeps you going to want to do it? I know, like, hey, if it's a Miami fight, it's not a Miami fight without Uly Diaz. So I'm sure there's a big call in there, but do you have it in your mind how many more of these you want to do?
Because I love it and I train every day. When it comes to bare knuckle, I retired from bare knuckle because now I work with the company. Shout out to BKB. They gave me a great opportunity with the company. I'm doing commentary. I'm doing a podcast for them. Doing a bunch of stuff behind the scenes with them. So it's a great opportunity I had. So I retired from bare knuckle, took a job with them, but they allowed me to do anything outside of it that's not bare knuckle. So we did speak back in March because I fought Dirty Boxing 1, which was back in March. And that was another great opportunity. It was a fight in Miami. And, you know, I wanted to be part of DBX1, be, you know, one of the pioneers that set this thing off. So it was, again, great opportunity that I had to take. And I never stopped training, man.
No, I mean,
It
well,
looks that way.
Yeah, it looks that way. It looks like you never stopped training, dude. Like, is it still a rush to see, have your kids watch you, or to have your people get to see you in a Miami fight?
For me, it is, man. For me, it's a great rush. You know, if you ask my wife, she wants me to stop taking fights. But no, it's definitely a fight that, I mean, definitely amazing to fight here. It's in my backyard, man. Coconut Grove. I grew up, you know, all around that area. I used to even hang out where the hangar is before the hangar was even built. So, you know, it's a great thing. I know all the people are coming out, and especially for this fight. You know, I'm fighting another big name. They're gonna want to see this show, and it's gonna be explosive, man.
Well, do you ever feel that way with Mrs. Monster? Like, she was a professional wrestler. Like that, is that as great with the flying off of the turnbuckles and all that nonsense?
You know what's funny? I do, man. When she has, because she's still wrestling. She's with TNA now. She just did a show with NXT as well. And when they do those hard matches with like chairs and doors and tacks and, you know, and beating each other with sticks, I'm like, damn, babe, gotta let this go.
How crazy that is, Leroy, to make to make Uly a situation be like,
I know. Wait, he's like, he's like, oh, come on. Like, you know what? I think no matter if you do anything physical and you know what your body goes through and you have a loved one going through it, like, you think differently, right?
Absolutely.
It's like me watching a kid play football.
Right.
Like people is like, oh, it's fun. No, like, it's still contact.
Right.
And that's how you kind of look at it. Like, you know, this is contact. And I just want you to be safe.
Right. And exactly, that's exactly what it is, man. When you got love for somebody, it's hard to you know, watch them get hurt.
Uly, before we get you out of here, Hector Lombard is going to be on this card. Hector's also, you know, been training down here forever, you know, come up and was a Bellator legend, a Bellator champion, and, you know, did his thing in the UFC. What does it mean to fight on a card with Hector, and what that's going to bring to the table for this one?
You know, Hector's like one of my brothers, man. I used to train with Hector all the time. He was a sparring partner of mine. He was a training partner of mine. We actually just fought together about a week or two ago on the pillow fights in Orlando. We were on that same card, which was super cool. Shout out to PFC, man. They gave me a great opportunity. We're on ESPN2. Out of all the things I've done, that's what comes out on ESPN2 was me pillow fighting. But yeah, no, it's a great opportunity to have. It's amazing to have Hector on this card. You know what I mean? He's truly a legend. So I'm excited for that. Yesterday I was with Yoel Romero. I did his podcast, and I was telling him, you know, he's a great friend of mine too. He's like a brother to me. He's like family. So it was amazing to fight with him on the first DBX. He was the main event. You know, I got to be the feature fight, and I'm gonna feature fight on this one as well. So it's awesome, man.
No, it's a monster sack card. Uly Diaz is gonna be fighting Phil Hawes. You got Hector Lombard making his DBX debut. Jairzinho Rosenstrike in the first title fight against the Wolf Rob Perez. This is going to be an awesome one, man. Can't wait for it. August 29th at the Hangar in Miami. Appreciate you, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it, man.
All righty.
There you go. Uly the Monster Diaz. We'll take a break. Back with more after this on FM 104.3